be live in just a second. Just a little bit longer. Oh, come on now. I was going to see how long I could keep you making that stupid-ass face.
I was waiting for somebody to go, is this screen frozen?
Mommy, there's that person that's in my nightmares. It scares me. Oh, shoot. And when you know, I hit the button on my chair. Oh. It's got the arm to go release it. It's just in the wrong spot. Hey, we're here for show number 4 tonight. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We are on Facebook. We're on YouTube. If you're catching us on Facebook, jump over to YouTube because we follow the chat on YouTube. If you are on YouTube, we kind of follow the chat, but really we don't because we follow it on Facebook. Yeah, that's it. Back and forth and back. So we're confusing. It's a time warp continuum thing.
We're in the future, right?
Or yesterday. Yeah, Ian was asking about, it's 8:45 here. Oh, am I in the future? Yes, Ian, that's right. We're doing this in an hour. This is an hour from now.
Welcome to Disc Jockey News, this show on Time Warp DJing.
We've got, exactly. Howie, Ian, Brent, we got a lot of folks. Ryan, Case Singer's in there. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We're going to talk about some things that came out this past week that are music related. We're going to talk about some things that are DJ related. We're going to talk about some things that are emotionally challenging.
Oh, I love you,
John. There it is. All right, let's jump into it tonight. Shani, we were talking a little bit about this, about the things that were going on in Chicago. Let's start with that story.
What, the shootings?
No. MJ, you're gonna have to set it.
DJ related. DJ related. Okay.
Yes.
That was just like 10 minutes ago, Shani. What happened?
Am I in Chicago? I think I'm in. Yeah. Okay,
yeah. You are home.
Okay. I got that.
She has a phone in her hand. She's playing Pokemon Go, aren't you?
Is there a Tars out there?
We're like I said, our office is a Pokemon stop, but I don't play.
Oh man, my children would be so offended if it was a Pokemon stop.
I'm sorry, it is. My office is a Pokemon stop, and we'll give you 10% off a package.
So I need to share that picture because I sent John that picture last week from Penny's. Did I send that to you?
Yeah, you did.
What picture?
The one about.
I have to show you that. Go ahead and talk, and I'll find it because it's
okay. All right, so we're talking. Are you gonna segue into it, MJ? Or are we just gonna?
Fine, I'll do it, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, great.
Is about what is called fine arts. Now, if you ask me, they got it right. But at 2 places in Chicago, one of them Shani DJ'd at. One of them is called Beauty Bar, and the other one is the Evil Olive, and Shani DJ'd at that one.
Mm-hmm.
City does. Is it exemptions? I believe it's called tax exemptions to the places who do what is known as fine arts performances. And they have a list of everything that is not fine arts. And Shani, do you fall into that?
I know. I guess I can't check off fine arts anymore. There goes my degree from college, considering I went to a fine arts college. I'm not fine arts anymore. I don't fall under the Chicago Symphony Orchestra or anybody else here, I guess. We're just DJs. We're other, I guess.
You're back to other. Man, I thought we were so there.
Now here's the list of what they said is not considered fine arts. Rap music, country music, which rock and roll, and by extension, DJ sets do not qualify as fine arts.
So if I do a remix of Mozart, is that fine arts?
I would say, wow, that would be difficult.
Or if you were creating your own music, I mean, creating from scratch, like, and you still would be a DJ producer, but I mean, if you were doing your own original music, would that not be fine arts?
If it was rap, country, or
rock and roll.
Or what about about a year ago when Sir Mix-a-Lot went up on stage with the one orchestra and we got back? I mean, if you're playing that cut, I mean,
there's several ones. There is a DJ, and I just blanked on his name. He actually created an entire symphony based around him DJing with the orchestra, and he wrote the entire symphony beginning to end. So is that considered that, or are they just considering it playback of someone else's music?
I think it's just because we're using DJ software, using DJ equipment, we're not fine arts. I think that's, if they want to just put it in the black and white territory, I think that's what it is.
So now, what I didn't get a chance to read the story, unfortunately. Sorry about that. What ended up happening now? Because there was a tax break, now they're just taking that away, or did they fine them also?
It's still I don't want to say it's still happening. It's not happening. I mean, it's still out there. They didn't close this. I mean, it went out there, I think, like 2 weeks ago when the story broke, but it was Labor Day weekend and the club was packed every single night. So
what I was reading in the article basically is that they're not being fined, but they're being charged for back taxes on the door fees. That's what I was understanding. It's not like they're getting a tax break. This is just cover charges. And so it'd be all the back taxes for however long this has been going on, which...
Yeah, hundreds of $1,000s of back taxes as of yesterday. Public meetings, county hearing officer, lady's name I'm not going to pronounce, argued with the venues only that fine arts should be exempt. Rap music, country music, rock and roll, and by extension, DJs do not qualify as fine arts. She said during the hearing, her implementation. It should policy should only be music venues. Meant for orchestras, symphonies, operas, and the like. Rock clubs, dance clubs should not be in there.
So it sounds like even more so not so much what we play, but just the venue in general.
And it's venues that have a certain amount of people that, right? It's under, is it under 1,000? Is that what they're saying?
750 capacity.
700. Yeah. But it's just funny that why they only went after those two, which is in a certain area here in Chicago, which is called Wicker Park.
Do you know if they're owned by the same person or are they separate?
They are. Those are both owned by the same person. Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, it's just kind of weird that of all the clubs in Chicago, I mean, and why it's just those two in a certain area and not any of in the Gold Coast or downtown or South Side or, any of those other clubs that fit the same criteria.
Yeah.
Yeah, they must not have paid up their...
For me, it's kind of suspect, but I mean...
It said here also in the article, it says, attorneys for the Chicago club bars maintain that these clubs are indeed culturally valuable and enough to qualify for the exemptions. Further on down the road that said, when rock and roll was considered music, he told the Chicago readers, no pun intended, but I think the country is being tone deaf to recognizing opera as a form of culture, but not Skrillex. There's a comparison.
Like, he was straight up and went like, I'm just going to name somebody, and the person I'm naming is Skrillex.
Yeah. Although Skrillex does look like Opera Man from Saturday Night Live.
Oh my word! He also looks like Corey Feldman. Did you ever put the two together with the glasses? Or Corey, whichever one of the two Corys with the glasses. I'm telling you, go out and look for the meme online. If you've not seen it, I'll have to search for it. But those two look very much alike.
Shani,
yes. Talk to me.
Yeah, you got a shout out there.
Oh yes, I want to give a shout out to one of my fans because I have fans of all ages, and I want to give a shout out to a female fan. Yay! I love my girls out there, and I love her name. Her name is Brooklyn, which I actually was in Brooklyn last month. But I want to give a shout out to Brooklyn. I see you, Brooklyn. Well, I don't really see you, but you see me. So what's up, Brooklyn? All right, next.
Okay, now Dan can give the shout out to all of his fans.
Hi, MJ. How you doing?
Yeah, boy.
Can I get a yeah, boy?
Or said horn button. Okay, next topic.
1 second. Hold on. We can't leave this for a second. And you're going to hear ding. You're going to hear ding. Thank you. So that I can do this. And I didn't pick the best picture, but it's going to have to do. All right. Are you ready? And the share screen. Boom.
Wait for it.
No. There we go.
Okay. Okay. From Stand By Me, Corey.
That's not the best picture because I had to
That is really funny.
That's funny.
That's been up there for a while, actually, the two of them. So
that is really funny.
Very, very funny. Okay, what's our next topic there, MJ?
Our next topic is, should Corey Feldman take, is that the one that passed away or not?
No, Corey Feldman's still alive.
Corey Baines or whatever his name is.
I think he's now talking about Michael Jackson or whatever. He's still alive.
Yeah. So now, beyond Chicago, I'm going to do this one to another business, and we're going to finish up with the last one because I think it ties it all nicely together. Tampa Bay businesses are being sued for playing copyright music without paying fees. Now, I just heard of another business that did that. The first thing I want to say is that the business is called Tadpoles, and I believe you should be sued for calling your business Tadpoles. Just want to say that up front. And the fact that they are, it was a $30,000 fee that they had to end up covering, and they couldn't cover it, and they had to close last spring. So a lot of, think about that for those of you who do everything from the simple little birthday party venues right on up to something bigger, not being able to be covered and closed down. What would that do for some of your weddings? Like, especially if it was a year down the road. So,
there's a little bit of a situation there is where that particular Tadpoles was a public performance place. If I'm in a wedding factory type establishment, they don't have to pay the fees because they're not open to the public. But what is an interesting angle with this is that a lot of us are doing streaming from our events, and some of the streaming is going out to our public Facebook page. And this is going to be an area in which is going to become an issue, because by the letter of the law, that if I am streaming a private event, but if I am streaming it to a public entity or a public group where there's multiple people who can watch this in a public method, i.e. my Facebook page, we do get back to the point where there are some royalties or some fees that could be expected from that performance. If you follow me on this one.
Yeah.
And that's something that streaming and internet, the cell phone technology, is going to be bringing to the forefront in the next 6 months to a year, I'm sure.
So the question with that also then goes in, you're talking about if we're streaming it, but then you go into that same idea if somebody at the event is streaming it. I mean, that now we got another situation. So yeah, I mean, from the standpoint of it's probably going to come down to all venues. If you're going to have any type of playing, private or public, it's going to have to be a license.
See, and I wonder if this isn't why Facebook is starting to crack down on this so quickly, because I wonder if the one who could potentially get sued on this one is, well, as they mentioned before, the one with the deepest pockets is going to be the first to be attacked. And I'm wondering if it isn't a Facebook thing, that Facebook being so public with Facebook Live and pushing it so hard that they would be the ones that they would go after first, the RIAA, even though they probably don't have Facebook money to go fight them. Just the negative feedback and such from that could be enough to keep Facebook and say, hey, now we need to kind of keep tabs on us a lot closer.
The first one out with a live broadcast was Periscope, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have we heard anything on the Twitter side of the live broadcasts of live music?
I haven't heard anything with the Twitter side, but I don't know how many people are actually using the Twitter side of it. Yeah, I can't say, because we had Meerkat was a version that you could use for a while, and in Periscope, I don't know of anyone who I can't even see, in my different emails and things I get from the businesses. I don't know of anyone who's done a Twitter live stream.
Yeah,
in months. So.
Interesting. There's a lot of good stuff in this article. If you guys want to, John, maybe you might want to post it later. It's a really long article, and that's why we can't go with it. I mean, it's really long.
Yeah.
But they're talking about venues that the one guy says, he goes, my venue capacity is 300, but that doesn't mean I'm going to have 300 people in it each time. But yet again, I still have to pay a licensing fee to all three of them, which is about the equivalent of $6,000 between the three of them for a venue that holds less than 300 people max. So that's biting into a lot of, in my opinion, there's going to become a point where there are legitimate smaller businesses that aren't going to be able to stay in business doing that. They're all going to gather together to do some sort of class lawsuit against BMI and alling them for making it so hard for them to have any sort of music playing whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Because That's that. If they crack down, that is thousands and thousands of venues.
Yeah.
Well, and we talked about this a little bit off air, just from the standpoint of, I was flabbergasted reading the article that it pertains to TVs playing in the background. I mean, somebody just playing in normal television.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have to carry a license for that, which I mean, look at those figures. Like, let's assume for a second, all that they were doing was, had the local sports, on for when it's game time and stuff like that. Nothing special with it. No, no streaming in of Sirius or anything else, just the TVs. And they have to carry a license. And if they're, $6,000 just to do that. Now, granted, I know obviously different size, but still, like, that's asinine in my viewpoint.
Mm-hmm.
There's some big numbers in here. And again, I didn't get a chance to read through everything because, like I said, it is a larger article. The New York-based company generated more than $1 billion in revenues last year, but had to pay $877 million in songwrite and producers BMI to producers BNI above all that. So that's a large portion right there.
Mm-hmm.
But then it goes right into it right after that. What I said, the mom and pop restaurants are the most that suffer the most from that.
That's true.
Oh, by far.
Either that or we're going to get to a point where artists are just going to go from now on, here, play my music. I don't want anything. Play it in your restaurant. And this is what I've said for years, because when I was younger, I did a lot of vocal stuff. So I dealt with the record labels right at the time that things were coming on to being able to burn CDs, and then right onto the Napster era where you're able to download stuff. And they went into an absolute frenzy about the fact that they couldn't control money being made because people were just giving them copies of stuff. And I loved it. And I would tell them to their face for the fact that it gave the power to the people, because before then, for those of you who don't know in the music industry, for those of us that are old enough, we remember when there was the Latin craze, remember? When there was the country craze, and remember when there was the swing craze.
Mm-hmm.
Those were forced on by the record labels. It wasn't someone going, hey, we love this, everybody's going to love it at the same time. No, it was something they pushed. But when the era came out where people could download and they just liked what they liked, that changed the entire business model of every record label. And that's why I think it gives power into people's hands, because you have artists like Macklemore and Sky from Gangnam Style, who never had a record label but had a major hit without a record label. And there's record labels out there screaming because they're thinking the millions that these guys are making that they didn't get, because they don't need a record label. They just need to be something someone likes. I love that, but the record labels and BMI and all of that don't, because they can't make money off of that. I think there's maybe going to be a move in the future that just goes, hey, screw all your guys. We'll make our money at our live shows and give our music to be played anywhere. Because I'm telling you, when that changed, the fact that they had to have so many points that they made off of a physical copy, because I remember Weird Al complaining about this, that he made so many points off a sale of a physical album because of the cost to make the album. And then after that, they didn't have the cost to make the album because it was a digital song, and they still took the same amount away from him to take that out, the points he got towards being paid for it, even though they didn't have the same cost. So I think it's going to come to a head, because look, like just from this article, how many businesses, if they start cracking down, are going to be shot.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. Think when we were much younger, before you would have music systems in bars. I mean, it used to be that you go into a bar during the daytime, and if it didn't have the jukebox on, it was quiet, because they did not have music in the background. It might have a TV playing a local news station, but they didn't have the ability to stream any of that stuff. And I wonder if we're going to be headed back to a day similar to that, where you will have some venues that only have a jukebox, because in the jukebox licensing fee, you've got the music being paid for.
Mm. How does that work? I don't even know, and I probably should have read into it. If you play a local radio station in your restaurant, how does that work with all this?
Still music being played. It doesn't matter if it's music, internet radio, or any of it. If you have the things being played, it goes by square footage.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Music is music. It doesn't matter. It's all still music. Yeah.
So you could go to talk radio, and I suppose talk radio you wouldn't have
That's the next thing, that you're gonna have all the talk radio guys copyrighting their voice and their rebroadcast, and you podcasted my show, you own me.
So as DJs, how does this affect us beyond the idea that it might shut some of our smaller karaoke gigs, that are doing it at VFWs? It could shut those down. Beyond that,
we need to do a John translation there. That means
karaoke.
Karaoke.
But that's a whole thing there with karaoke licensing, because that then becomes, if I'm correct, a performance-based licensing.
It's
correct?
It's not much different. There's a little bit of difference with that. You're still having to pay the same BMI and ASCAP because the person who wrote the original track still needs to be compensated. So there's still some of those things, but there's an additional fee that's covered in that world. And then you get to licensing of karaoke, and
Karaoke.
Yeah, it's a much different. The wordless, or the songs without words. But
Matt in the chat room says he used to play at a roller rink, and he said the owner told him that he paid per admission per person coming in for the music.
That happens if I am renting the venue and I am charging a cover at the door. Then I am responsible. And you can go to RIAA's website, and there is a fee. Okay, I'm going to have 10,000 people coming through, and this is what we're doing, and this is how much you pay. So it is possible that there could have been something, but somewhat unlikely, but it could have been some arrangement they had, because that does with one and two special events, that does happen.
And then what's going to happen when venues start saying to the DJs that are coming in, oh, you're coming in and you're playing music for this event. Okay, this is the fee you have to pay now. And now they're going to start charging the companies and the DJs a fee.
I suppose they could charge an electric fee. I suppose they could do something like that. But if they're going to charge a fee that's based on me having to pay this fee, I think you're going to have the ASCAP, BMI, RIAA people who will they've been very animate in their wording that it's not the DJ, because that's in their
right.
That it's not the DJ who's responsible. Now, does that mean that the venue? Go ahead, MJ.
I was going to say, as long as he's paid for his music, because that's something RIAA will go at. Yeah,
that becomes their area, but to prove that is very, very difficult in this digital age. Because we get back to one of the discussions online earlier, was that if I have the original discs, am I covered? And there really isn't a changing format license in the United States right now. So technically, to be completely legal, we should have the CDs, and we should only be playing with CDs. We shouldn't be doing computer unless we've gone and purchased the songs. And then if we purchase the songs through the iTunes network, it says that those aren't for public performance. So there's really no way we as a mobile DJ or as a DJ can win. It's a really tough area. People want to be legal, but none of us are legal. Is probably the big thing to get to.
Well, except for with what you're talking about with the iTunes and Amazon and their rights of service, and stuff, that falls under their terms of service. That's not a legal versus unlegal thing. The worst that's going to happen if they caught you doing it is you lose your account with them.
The RIAA?
No. The iTunes, which says it's for private use only or whatever. If you're playing a song that you got off of iTunes, it's not going to. You're not breaking the law by doing so. You're breaking their terms of service.
Right, but RIAA, I've actually heard stories of RIAA come in and said, can you prove that you own every song you're playing? And they took the laptop until the person could prove that they owned them.
Wow.
Generally, they pick 20 songs out of your list and say, okay, show me the receipts or hard copies of these. And if you get lucky and it's 20 that you have, great. And if it's 19 that you have and one of them that you downloaded from a friend, that could get you in trouble. Ryan asked a question, if the venue doesn't have the license, could we get in trouble as performers? No. They might shut us down as far as that. Oh, it's immediately shut down. They generally don't do that. It's usually cease and desist letters go back and forth. They try to collect because they don't want They want to just send a bill and get the bill paid. That's what BMI and ASCAP and such. That's what they want. They just want their money.
Yeah, it's all in the venue. I mean, that's like the thing here in Chicago where, somebody said, well, are you sure you're playing at the club this weekend? And I was like, yeah, I'm playing at the club. Well, what about everything that's been on the news with the fines? And I'm like, that has nothing to do with me. I'm like, the flyer's out. Everybody thinks it's Labor Day weekend. It's, party time at the club. So if the police come and shut them down, they're not taking me to jail because of the fines and everything. It's all in the club, not me. I just might not get paid, but that'll be another issue.
In this city, I think it's funniest thing right now that the city's cracking down on occupancy. So it's not even, you get shut down for the music, get shut down. I mean, they've literally, I've watched them in places I've DJ, lock the door, start counting people. If there's too many, places shut down for the night. Everybody leaves, DJ stops, done. So kind of crazy. I have in chat 320 Entertainment. You asked a question about they tried it at a local bar near me and they took it out there to check the night. Please explain that. So we want to know if there's something that happened in your area, like what happened there. I didn't understand your statement.
Yeah, you're saying that they took the BMI fees out of your check?
So it sounds like a little bit later he references that. I guess BMI or ASCAP came in and told the DJs.
Oh, okay. So they must have fined the venue, and the venue then decided they were going to take the money out of the.
That's illegal. Yeah, that's illegal.
Stab him in the eye. Do that to me, and I will kick your family jewels.
Yeah, that's illegal. They can't take it out of your check. You are the entertainer. You're the performer. You are not the venue.
Well, see, MJ, you and I we have kind of almost an advantage, and I'm sure other states do this, but when I used to be involved in kind of promotions of the bar scene and stuff like that, I was told that PA has their ASCAP and BMI tied to their liquor license.
Oh,
so,
that's possible. Pennsylvania liquor license are so strange. Up until 2000 or mid 2000s, it was illegal for a venue to play the music that was playing inside on a speaker outside, quote unquote, because it would entice people to come in and drink. That was in the state liquor license. So
okay.
Would not doubt in my mind that that's possible there too, Dan. But would that be a smart way to go about it?
I mean, I think that's great. Just put it all in one thing. And then, you don't have to worry about it. Be like, all right, you're getting a liquor license. Well, you're probably going to be playing some sort of music, whether it is a DJ or it's a band or you got a jukebox or something going on. I mean, I think that's a great thing. You just put it all on one thing.
I mean, you still have your venues, obviously, that are not selling and that
Right.
kind of thing. But exactly, at least as far as majority of the venues that we're going to have connections with, it's going to be. Yeah.
One of the places that I DJ'd at had a special, and they actually had to change their name to, it was Zen was the name of the place, to Zen Social Club. And because if they served food, then they would be allowed to stay open an extra hour and a half, I think it was, or an hour. Couldn't sell alcohol past that hour. But if you paid the price at the door, kind of like an after hours club, you could get free alcohol. So they solved that problem, and I'm not kidding you, by keeping out a very large plate of, I have to admit, some of the best tasting chicken nuggets I've ever tasted. And the whole night there was a table over by the DJ booth with chicken nuggets. So that filled in their food law, so that at 2 a.m. they went from, I don't know what the door cost was, to it was like $15 or $20 to come in for an hour and a half, and then you could drink some then. But literally, I saw people that would just leave a club, and we made $20. I have $20. I have $20. I have $20 just walking in. But that's the way around things. But so when you said, Dan, that it's different, that could be true. If anybody knows that, Ryan, you weren't old enough you were probably a teenager when they did that. So don't even go there, son.
Get your nuggets.
But if anybody knows somebody about the PA, Howie, you said, yep, PA is different. It is not a state. It's a commonwealth. Wow. We're a commonwealth, Dan.
Oh, you didn't know that?
So you're not a state. So like when I do the 50 states, like PA is not one.
No,
It's
it isn't.
the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and Massachusetts is another one. And
That's crazy. I saw a thing online that the guy went through all 50 states. He said, I can describe every single one of the states in one sentence. And I'm like, okay, great. Wait till he gets to Pennsylvania. He goes, Pennsylvania, where even our Amish will fight you. Like that's Pennsylvania. We don't take crap.
DJ T Roy B said, how would you prove it from a record pool or streaming service? Probably talking about what John, you were just talking about if they, I'm assuming that if they came in and said these 20 songs and you said you got it from a record pool, but it was from a record pool and you downloaded it, it would still have that tag. Because I know all the music I download.
If it was a legal one.
Illegal. If it was a legal record, yeah. If it's a legal record pool, you still have the tag of the record pool. Streaming service, I don't know. I don't download from streaming services to use for my gigs, so I don't know about that one.
The Walden family said something about trivia night. They couldn't have trivia night also. How does that go into copyright?
Well, were you playing music in between the questions and stuff like that to kind of get everybody going? And was there music involved in the trivia night would be my question.
Or even just the idea that there could be.
Yeah.
Or were they finding them because they said karaoke?
All of the above.
So if you can, Walden family, if you can let us know like what that exactly was, because that's interesting. See, that puts so many places into a danger. Everything from a national chain like an Applebee's down to a mom and pop store.
Yeah, that's just saying they didn't want to pay. I mean, I'm assuming wherever this was, when ASCAP came in there and said you can't have a DJ, is because they didn't pay their fees.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, when it comes to the TV, if there's
they
a
were
size,
just trying to scare them.
Well, there's a size of TV that at least there was at one period of time that if it was under a certain inch, because there were 3 or 4 venues in our area that if they were like 19 inch or less, they didn't count. So all of a sudden, those all the venues TVs got small in that venue. I don't know if that's still available or not, but it's very interesting because we've got some venues. There's a nice little mom and pop bar that is down the road that they do not have anything anymore just because of the fees. They can't. The margins on some of these small town establishments are so narrow that $1,000 extra a year is what helps keep the lights on.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. That's why people should shop on Small Business Saturday. I just gave a plug for right there.
There you go.
Send your endorsement checks to Skytown at P.O. Box.
Legal music pools.
Yeah,
we got Promo Only, Top Hits USA. Those are sponsors of DJN TV. Prime Cuts does a nice job. Zip DJ is another one out there that is a legal music service. There was MJ, I know there's another one you talked about that was illegal.
Kirkland Clan.
We're going all that one now. Okay, Kirkland Clan, DJ City. I mean, we could go on the club side and do all those too. But we'll keep it more of the promo onlys and.
Because those in my mind, correct, are not legal. If I'm correct,
some are. There's a BPM of some sort. I think that was
legal to have the remixes. That's the thing, because it's not only the BMI, but they would have to pay the owner of that song
the
right to remix it and the right to then sell it.
Yeah, that like all the Jump Smoker remixes, like my friend that does all the Jump Smoker remixes.
So that's money on money on money right there.
Yeah, that's straight money on money on money. And they get excited then when Pitbull does like the version in his concert because and then they social media it all out. And I just put $signs on their Instagram like every time that happens.
That's so crazy. Do we have commercials tonight, John? I don't want to forget anything.
No, we're good. We ran about the other shows, so we're good. We're gonna because
we just slid right into our third topic perfectly. Is about what music can I legally DJ, and I came up with this, and it's pretty much all I want to say about it. So this is pretty much it right here.
Legal downloads are killing piracy.
Yeah,
I hate that.
Piracy. I'm sorry. You had to go there.
I will say it was not on purpose that I wear my
Pirate
pirate
shirt. There, Pirate shirt.
Wow. What was the first song you guys ever illegally downloaded? I think you have to excuse me.
The first song?
Oh, I don't remember what that would be, but it was off LimeWire.
I remember what mine was, and it was I was behind everybody else, but it was Madonna's Music. Because I wanted to play it, and it hadn't even been released yet, and it was a recording of her live performing it somewhere on like MTV or something, and that's what I played.
I know what it is. It was Madison Avenue's Reminiscing.
I was going to say "Call Me Baby."
Yeah, no, I was looking for that one.
I'm gonna say mine was back to Napster days.
I don't remember mine.
Mine was an Napster.
I'm going to go stretch, and I'm thinking like a 2 Unlimited. Get ready for this. It was like the idea I was going to start like starting to build some collection when Napster was available. Nice. I'm guessing because if I remember correctly, one of my first burnt CDs, that was like one of the first couple tracks on there. So maybe.
Yeah, I don't even know what I had for dinner tonight, so I can't help you with my first illegal download.
Listen to her, that's all it is.
I want to ask you, Shani. See, I can't even talk tonight.
You're just having a tough time with that.
You had a tough weekend, I would like to say. For those of you who don't know, I went away, and me going away is always challenging on every people that I went away with and all kinds of stuff. But one of the things the article talks about, what music can I illegally download, talks about the Kuvo box.
Yeah.
And it is a Pioneer thing. And for those of you who don't know, it kind of tracks what the DJ plays because it's tied in through Serato box, if I'm correct, or is it direct line in?
It's actually direct line in.
That's what I thought. And it can either both broadcast the songs played just to see what the DJ is playing, or it gets tracked on a national level to be put on things like, your Billboard lists and stuff. Have you ever DJed at clubs where you tie into that?
I've never DJed at a club where I've tied into it. I did play around with it a couple times, but I haven't. You have to. The whole thing with they have to have the line at the club. So like I would have to contact Pioneer and say, hey, this is a great spot to have a Kuvo put in here. And then they would send somebody and they would have, which is great for the DJs if they were to do this. I mean, I think it would be great for everybody, but you would have to actually say, hey guys, this is a great spot for Kuvo to be here. And then they have to like set it up for you. So none of the places I am in Chicago, and I don't think really there's any, I don't know what clubs. I mean, I'm sure there's probably places in LA because of Pioneer. But, yeah, but no places here where you could actually go right into Kuvo, which would be awesome if you could do that.
I know for a fact that with Serato, if you are a Billboard DJ, you hook up your computer and it takes your playlists and uploads the playlist to account into Billboard play numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're one of those, that gets tossed in there too. So that's a whole nother world right there. You know, it's interesting, all these things. John, did you see anything in the article that jumped out at you that about finding the right legal stuff?
No, not really. I mean, it's how do I want to say? It seems, and I know we have music services that are big sponsors of us, but it seems almost difficult because we can't get, in the U.S. at least, we can't get back libraries of music. So it's automatically that if we want to have a library of music and play and do it right, you can't get there from here. Legally.
Yeah, it's true. Unless you were one of the few that had like the Platinum series or any of those back in the day that had all that stuff, which, then that's great. But, the younger DJs out now that need some Motown or need some rock, the top 500 rock songs, or need some of that stuff, you can't go on like promo only and grab that rock song. You can't go on Prime Cuts and grab that, that song. And that's the issue that people are having, and what to do with that.
Exactly. So it's really, really a difficult situation that we're in right now, because you want to be able to do things and be legal, and even if it costs a little bit of money, but if you can't get there from here.
You buy the song off iTunes, John, and get an older song off iTunes?
Technically, you're not supposed to be, according to the iTunes legal ease, you're not supposed to play it for performance to make money off it. But that's in there so that iTunes and any of these companies could get the licensing from the Harry Fox company to have it for sale. So if I'm buying it from anywhere, even if you look at some of your CDs you buy from the store, that's what they said on it. So if you're from IRAA's way of looking at it is if you buy it and you pay for it from a legitimate source, i.e. iTunes or Amazon these days, you're good to go. You don't have a problem with it. Is it technically, though, according to the terms of service, legal to play it for our events? No, it's not. But
do we do it?
Yeah,
yes,
we're going to do
it.
it.
If you find you says it's okay, then.
So, I mean, you can never get a completely where everyone is going to say that, oh, yes, you're completely legal. Because technically, iTunes says, oh, that's not legal to do. Even though they're not going to stop you, even though they're not going to punish you, even though you're not supposed to do it. Well, we're going to do it. Or again, buying the CDs. Technically, there's no license in the United States to transfer it to digital. No one's going to stop you. No one's going to do it as long as you keep the original. And that the IRAA, who the only ones who would slap your wrist, as long as they know that that's there, they're going to give you a pass on it. So.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's just, we've all done it, where that client wants that one song that is hard to get, hard to find, and you're never going to play it again, but you're going to get it wherever you can get it, and you're going to play it for this event. It is what it is. Are the cops going to be at the door waiting for you when you get done with the event? They get, no, but it's that fine line where we do, as somebody says, like we do go in that gray area when we have to.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what it is. Unfortunately, no matter what we do, we're in that gray area with where we are.
Yeah, I mean, we try to keep it as legal as possible, and 99.9% all your music should be legal, and everything that you get, should be. You should have insurance. You should have this. You should, walking at everything, and then it's okay that if you have that one song that you had to get off of Amazon or iTunes or wherever you had to get it, it's going to be okay because of everything else going on. Hopefully, karma won't come and get you because that one song.
Come and slap you down. Yeah.
Right.
One of the ones that I'm actually a subscription service to, they have a section called the Vault. And in the Vault, you can get any of the older songs that someone has remixed. So now we're coming into a song that you not supposed to have because it's an old song, but now you have an illegal remix or a redrum of an older song. So it's like everything I grab is technically not legal, and it's like I'm really trying, but I want a redrum. Like the other day I needed a redrum of a Barry White song. I didn't want to play the Barry White song and found it, and I'm thinking it's a video version too, so now the copyright owner of the video is
right.
it's like, just cut my arms off, please.
I can't do it.
I cannot do it. Please help me. Thank you. Come again.
Yeah, I think guys are talking about picking up old CDs and going that route. I don't know if I would, and I hate to say this, I don't know if I'd even waste the time nowadays. Go to iTunes, pick up what you need from iTunes or Amazon, pick them up in ones and twos, because you don't. How many CDs do we own from years ago that we needed one song on the CD and you're wasting time?
Oh my goodness!
Most thankful things when it came to being able to buy a digital single song, because I hated that.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that works out best also, if you're using the iTunes or Amazon, is sometimes when you get the older ones, you can get the album for $3, $4 or something like that in the digital form, if it's compilation or something like that. And now you have the digital quality as opposed to a CD that you bought at the pawn shop that probably has the 8,000 scratches in it. And now you're trying to repair it just so you can rip it and have what you could have the same way.
Right. No, that's true. Yeah.
And with those older ones, stuff like Michael Jackson and Prince and Madonna and different ones, they do have compilations of their hits, and you really can, for a few bucks, get yourself set with a good copy.
Yeah, no, that's true. You look at the greatest hits and look to see like, oh, that's the album. That's the right album that I need to get for all of this.
Immaculate Conception. Mm-hmm. The Immaculate Collection was Madonna's.
Yep.
Prince was the B-sides that covered all his hits. And I don't know why they call it the B-sides when they were the hits. And I can't remember.
No, there was hits 1 and 2.
Is that what it was?
It was hits 1 and 2 and then the B-sides, which were...
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But like, I'm going to be honest, a lot of my events now, I'm doing what MJ said. I'm playing redrums of the old hits for that, just that extra beat coming in. So the youngins who are drinking the Fireball and stuff like that. They hear the beat, they're happy, they're dancing. They might not know the song, but all they know is they hear the beat. And the older people are happy because they know the song, but now I'm playing the one that, has that beat to it. And I get those. And, there's a lot of remixes of those redrums and things like that of the older songs. And nowadays, a lot of people are into the 80s and the 90s at a lot of the events we're doing because of the age range. So for those that can't really find those old rock songs or the 80s songs or the 90s songs, there's a lot of people that are doing the remixes and the redrums of those, that it's okay to go ahead and get those songs because your whole entire dance floor will be happy then.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. John, can I get our show thrown off YouTube?
No, don't play a song.
Why? Because of the as far as to play a song, or are you referring to the country?
Oh,
someone who loves you.
Redrum, real simple, not over the top.
You'll never find. There you go. Okay.
Hey, that's a great segue into the music show on Wednesday night. That's right. We'll be talking about music and actually playing the music on Wednesday nights. If you want to get a notification of that, go out to DJNTV.com/insider and sign up for the free level of the Insider. And then you will be notified of the link, because that's all private links for the Wednesday night music show. We don't want to have it so it's going out on the different social media channels and getting us flagged and get our channels shut down, which I believe one person had their Facebook shut down. Yeah, Reggie got your song there.
Oh, the Barry White one. I don't know if I have it in this computer. I would play the Barry White one. It's funny because I do a fitness class once a month where they do themes, and this month's theme was Studio 54. And one guy comes back, and I play a lot of remixes in their high beat energy stuff, and he goes, "You got any Barry White?" And I looked, and I had a Barry White. What's the one? I just blanked on it.
My First, My Last, that one.
Yes, I have a
me too. Yeah.
The dude was 40, 50 years old. He's on the other side just going, yeah, Barry White. So I don't know. It's an interesting concept, and I really hope that somehow we come to a fair point medium in the center where we can all agree, do our best. But there's always going to be that illegal level, no matter what. I absolutely believe as soon as someone does something, someone's going to find a way around it. It's been that way from the beginning. When Napster was shut down, they'll go, "You'll never get a piece of illegal music ever again." Napster shut down, and what did it take?
Yep.
Half a day.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk anything about the specialty area stuff with the Insider? Because there's a lot there. Ryan RTG, who's in here tonight visiting with us, his literal words to me earlier tonight was like, "Wow, a lot of choices."
Yeah, why don't you go into all that right now since we got everybody's attention?
Yeah, the Insider. What that is, for those of you who have not gotten a chance to check that out, is, I think the best way to describe it is kind of similar to a public television situation. And I'll go into some background here. In the industry, we've got, of course, sponsors that have been sponsoring a lot of the things you've been seeing us do with Disc Jockey News and Disc Jockey News TV. That the manufacturing money that is there that's sponsoring a lot of these things is there's a finite amount of that, and we're also seeing where some of these manufacturers just don't have the funds and such. Specifically, some of the lighting companies are seeing competition directly from China with their lights. So these companies are being much more frugal when it comes to what they can support and such. And we do have some great sponsors and support, don't get me wrong, but the time the time for that support may be winding down and such, or coming to a limited amount. In order to continue to bring you things like what we're doing tonight and all the different DJN TV shows and such. I mean, as an example, we've got microphones. We're getting microphones and setting up studios and such a little bit better. Those things cost money, and in order to help cover those things, that's what we have the DJN Insider, is people coming together to help support what we do and kind of partner with us, and that will allow us to continue to create this type of content and other shows, and to get that out there, because there's DJs out there who've never been to a convention, and they've never just starting out, and this is their first experience with learning a little bit of the industry and learning how to become a better DJ, a better business person, a better performer, and we can help a little bit with that process. So go to DJNTV.com/insider. You can find out more about what they are, because there's different levels of support. There's the basic ones that just kind of get you in and thank you for being part of that. Then there's levels where you're getting into our private chat room on Facebook, and you get into content that's delivered to you each and every about every week. And then our Wednesday shows are also going to be put into that content area. We've got probably 25 videos that are there right now in that members only content area, and there'll be more added to that. And then depending upon the level, there's we've got some swag with shirts and jackets, and we've got some, I don't have the bags here, we've got some bags that are getting printed up. I think those are next week that he'll be printing those up, but we're going to be this fall, we've got our first round of swag that's going to be going out to our different members. So you're going to have some cool DJN TV stuff that for those who are into at that level and such. So yeah, it's some pretty cool stuff. And one of our big things will be the Wednesday night, which will be for the people. It'll be free for everyone who comes and wants to see you. If you sign up for the notifications, you will get to see this Wednesday's show. Not all Wednesday shows are going to be for everyone. Some of the Wednesday shows are going to only be for the members themselves because it's a more in-depth, elaborate show, what have you. It's going to be some are free, some are that, but the recorded shows are going to be available only for the members. So if you can't catch the live show and you're not a member, you won't be able to catch it until you become a member, and then you'll get to see it in the library. So I think I covered it.
Where do they sign up at?
DJNTV.com/insider. Then there's a link there you can click, and that will take you right to the area. Or you can go to discjockeynews.com/insider, and that takes you over there too. So either one will get you there.
Yeah, and also, guys, once you join too, there's a Facebook page. So if you guys have any questions or anything that you want to ask anybody, you could post your question 24/7, and there's usually a DJ that's up at whatever hour you're posting that can, help you answer anything. So it's not just the YouTube videos and things like that. There's also a Facebook page that we have for you guys as well. Did somebody ask about the price? I think I saw. Yeah,
there's different packages. If you go, if you bounce out there, there's different levels. As Ryan mentions, yes, we have a yearly one because there's some folks who just want to do it for a year and not have to worry about it doing a monthly thing. And obviously, if you do that, then it's a little cheaper to do it that route. If you want to go that route, it makes it a little easier. Oh no, Howie wouldn't do the Sharpie. He wants that number one on his, because he was one of the first ones, and we appreciate how he's a huge supporter of DJN TV and such.
It'll be like promo only. You'll be customer one.
Yep, we'll have to get a
0001.
Yep, we'll have to get a one on his.
You got a Sharpie.
Yeah, Howie, your new name, you're not Howie anymore. You're just number one, Howie.
Number one.
That is your new name with us, Howie. Number one.
The Simpsons have a thing called the Stonecutters, which is a play off of the Freemasons, and they're all numbered. They don't go by names in the Stonecutter. Stonecutter number one. Stonecutter. Sorry, I tangent there for a moment. Binary code. What would be the binary code for no?
See, I have children, so I was thinking the 7 Little Monsters, where she named them number one. She named all the
thing one, thing two.
Was it thing? I thought it was just number one, number two, number three.
Was it? Is that a different one?
It was a cartoon that my kids watched when they were younger. So
we'll just name everybody part of Wu-Tang, so everybody will have a Wu-Tang name.
Yeah,
no, MJ. No.
We need to wrap things up. It's getting past Dan's bedtime. And
I'm caffeine free now, so this is going to be really hard.
Oh wow!
Welcome to my world, Dan. Except for last week, yes, I saw that you drank your last cup of coffee, and you just cold. You just quit a cold.
Yep.
Did you have the sweats and everything?
Number 3, started getting a little bit of a headache today.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long month and a half at least.
No, about 2 weeks, and then it's all gone.
Oh, I wish.
And then you'll be great. You'll be awesome. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching tonight. If you guys get a chance, please give the video a thumbs up down below. If you didn't like the show because, Dan just couldn't stop talking tonight, you can give it a thumbs down. But, Dan really is meaning well. And
I didn't want to wear out the mic, this new mic.
And also next week we might have to bring back my meme, MJ. Next week it might be my meme for where is DJ Shaney?
I have it ready right here, right next to Skrillex. We'll go out with this, Sean. Hardly even talked about Pokemon. 15% off when you show an associate your Pokemon. Now, if you're some sort of pervert and Pokemon means something different, you might be in trouble.
You might, yeah.
You.
I'll show you one of those. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back tomorrow night with Brian Red. We'll be doing that at 10 o'clock Eastern. And then for those of you who go sign up and such for the notification, Wednesday night at 8:30 Eastern, we're going to be doing a live music show. MJ and I are going to basically, this week's kind of a practice week because we've got a new set that's on the other side here, testing audio back and forth, and then MJ is going to talk a little bit about mixing on the ones and why that's important, and Shane's going to be playing with knobs. No.
I can't find my practice fader.
Yeah, we'll find that for Wednesday night. So
knobs, and I'll get some practice, and I'll play Barry White next week.
That'd be awesome. So we'll see you guys. Please go sign up, and we'll see you Wednesday night. Good night, everyone.
Long as I